My name is Rob Wallace. I am your life coach and spiritual mentor, and this is Self Love with Law of Attraction. Hello, gorgeous people. I hope you're doing fantastic. Welcome to Module 7 of your Self Love and Law of Attraction course. And today's topic is let go of the past. Now, folks, as you've already realised, I've spoke already a little bit in terms of how you shouldn't let the past define you. And now I'm going to dedicate an entire module to that topic. And I want to start off by giving you a little bit of an analogy, just so that you can wrap your head around what the past is and how the past actually doesn't exist. All that exists is your thoughts. Now, let me explain what I mean regarding that before we go into the little analogy that I'm going to give you. As you've already realised, especially from Module 1, your thoughts create your reality, not your past. Okay? Let me try and get you to wrap your head around this concept. Your past, that is, your past experiences, are actually thoughts in your head. Your past is not defining you. What's defining you is the thoughts that you have created regarding your past. You see, it's your thoughts that are defining you. And let me tell you what I mean. If you look back in your past with happy thoughts, well, that's okay, because then you're defining yourself as happiness. It's when you look back in your past with regret or with sorrow, then what you're really doing, you're creating thoughts of sorrow which you're allowing to define you. It's what thoughts you're choosing to define yourself with. So let's just recap. It is not your actual past which defines you. It's how you think about the past which defines you. You see, it's your thoughts which define you. Now, let's dive into the analogy in terms of how past, present, and future works, and how only the present moment, that is, your present thoughts, are that which defines you. Now, I want you to think of a boat or a ship, okay? Think of a vessel that's travelling on the sea. Now, if you look at the back end of the vessel, what you'll see is a wake. That you'll see the impressions that the vessel has left behind itself, okay? That's called a wake. Now, the next time you get a chance to go on a vessel, I want you to take a look at that wake and notice that the impression the boat makes, it doesn't last forever. The wake dissolves back into the undefinable sea of the moment. Okay? The sea is the one body of the moment, because all there is the moment. And the impression which the ship leaves, that sits past. That actually dissolves and goes back to the sea. It doesn't exist, it dissolves, it goes away. And really think about this. When you look at that wake, all you're left with is a thought regarding that wake. So what I'm saying is, your past dissolves, it vanishes, it's gone. All you're left with is what you think about the past. And so what's defining your past in the present moment is your thoughts. And as I've already said, your thoughts create your reality. So folks, what I want you to think about is the impression that the vessel is leaving on the water at its present moment. You see, if you want to actually experience that impression which the vessel is leaving upon the water, then you actually have to be the vessel, and you have to be constantly in the moment, because that's the only time you will see a complete impression of the vessel in the moment. When you look behind the vessel, that's not the true impression. That's the fading impression which is dissolving into nothing. That's the past. It's done. The impression of the vessel, that is the pure impression of the vessel, is always in the moment. That's the only time you're going to be able to see the impression of the vessel. It's only when you're looking at the vessel in the moment. You can only define yourself by how you're impacting the present moment. That's where you want to focus on. Okay? What sort of impression, that is, what sort of energy, what sort of thoughts do you have at the present moment? Because that is what defines you. What's defining you is the impression of your thoughts on the sea of the moment. Okay? The past is gone. That wake has dissolved. You're the vessel that's traveling along the sea of the moment, and the impression you're making on that sea is with your thoughts. How are your present thoughts impressing on your current reality at this moment? That is what you need to focus on. Now, if you go to the front of the vessel and you look ahead of you, the sea is a blank canvas. There is nothing created ahead of you. The sea is a blank canvas. The future is not predetermined. Your future is a blank canvas. People get caught up with this idea of predestined fate, or they get caught up in the idea that a path is already laid out for them. A path may be laid out for you, but here is the magic. That path can be altered by you. The sea of the moment is a blank canvas for you to play on. It's your canvas which is there to allow you to paint the life of your own dreams. So, if you are the vessel, and if you are traveling along the sea of the ever unfolding moment, then forget what's behind you because it's dissolved now, okay? You're only making an impact at the present moment. And ahead of you is a blank canvas. And you can choose how you're going to try and make an impact on that blank canvas. You can swerve the boat. You can do whatever you like. It's your impression which you're going to make. And like I said before, there's no final point. So when you make an impression, you're always going to keep moving forward, and that impression's going to dissolve because it's all about never-ending unfolding, never-ending growth, never-ending creativity. You are a never-ending, perpetual vehicle of growth, of unfolding. Remember what I said in earlier modules, okay? There is no ending to growth. There's no ending to creativity. So when you're moving along in life and you're thinking about the past, the past doesn't exist. It's only your memory of the past, because your thoughts are the only things that are making an impact on the sea of the moment. So how are you impacting the sea of the moment with your thoughts? Now let's dive into another analogy. Let's dive into an example of how someone thinks about the past. Someone's gone through an experience, a contrasting experience. It might be something that wasn't too extreme but stuck in their mind. It could be something that was traumatic that stuck in their mind. Now let's look at this word trauma. It's quite interesting. Trauma is an impacting experience. And that's a really interesting concept to ponder on, because the ship, as it travels along the sea of the moment, when the ship encounters a storm, for example, that storm is traumatic. The storm is causing stress upon the structure of the vessel. Now, depending on how good the captain of the ship is, that vessel is either going to sail through the storm and reach its destination, or if the captain panics, that vessel is going to sink. It's a choice, and it's a choice that lies with the captain of the vessel. Okay? Now, this is an analogy, okay? I want you to realize that it's an analogy, right? You are the captain of your vessel. How are you navigating your vessel through the sea of the moment? Well, if your knowledge of the seas is more than adequate, you're going to know how to avoid going through storms. But that's not to say that storms won't crop up, okay? It's not to say that you'll avoid all storms, but you will be able to, when you learn how to navigate your vessel through the sea of the moment, you're going to know how to avoid most storms because you're not going to attract yourself to them. But should a storm arise, because of your experience navigating through previous storms, you're going to know how to navigate through any future storm. And you're going to understand that the storm is just an experience in the moment. And like all experiences, that moment will leave a wake which will dissolve back to the sea of the moment. It doesn't last forever. Storms don't last forever, okay? Storms are an experience in the moment and should not define how you continually move forward and sail upon the sea of the moment. A storm is one moment. A storm is but one experience from an infinite number of experiences. And if you allow your experience through that one storm to make you frightened to sail upon the sea of the moment, then you are probably not going to be a captain of the vessel who will take bold steps to reach unknown lands, which are full of treasures for you to find. You're going to be so scared you're going to dock up in dry land and you're not going to move anywhere, and your vessel's going to be tied up in the harbour, broken and beaten because you've been afraid of one storm. Okay? What you want to do is you want to take control of your vessel. You want to be the captain of your soul. You want to take control of that vessel. You want to drive that vessel, not carelessly, but wisely, through the sea of the moment, because you know exactly where to find that treasure. And you know exactly what that treasure is. That treasure is love. Sail wisely through the sea of the moment and do not let any storm deter you from your journey, because your vessel is divine. Your vessel, which you have, is designed to be so buoyant it will float on any raging wave that ever comes forward into your visibility. But guess what? You are so strong. And when you realize that, there is no storm in existence that can come your way which will deter you from making your journey forward to finding the most valuable treasure of all time, and that is love. Sail on the moment of the sea, declare yourself the captain of your vessel, and do not let any storm get in the way of you and you finding the real treasure of all time, which is love. Love is your treasure. Now, folks, the exercise for this module, what I want you to do is, again, just get a piece of paper, or you can bring up a Word document on your computer, and I want you to make 2 columns. I want you to write past in the left-hand column and the present in the right-hand column. And what I want you to do is, I want you to think about how are you defining yourself in terms of your past. Write down 10 things which you are using to define yourself in regards to the past. And then what I want you to do is to go to the right-hand column, which is the present. And I want you to define yourself in regards to how is the present moment defining you. What is it about your current situation, your current present moment, which is defining you? What is it that you're experiencing right now? And see if you can differentiate the present from the past. Because what you'll find is that in the present, all of that which defines you is a perception of things. It's your thoughts. And what I want you to do is to look at how the present defines you and how the past defines you. And I want you to see how these two things will be different. I want you to see the differences in how each column defines you. And then what I want you to do is you might even see a connection. You might see that an experience in the past has defined an experience in the present, which you are choosing to define you in terms of how you think about that situation. For example, you may be in a job you don't like, and you may be blaming the past for that job. Well, that's coming from the way you're bringing yourself to that situation in regards to your thoughts. So recap that there. If you write down that a job or any situation in life at your present moment is defining you, and if you see a connection to a past experience, that is because you're allowing your past to impact on your present moment. And if you take away that past experience, if you minus that past experience from your present experiences, you're going to notice a big change. You might actually start liking your job because you're not being triggered by the past. You might actually start liking certain people because you're no longer triggered by the past. And therefore, you might actually start liking your life because you're not triggered by the past. This exercise is to allow you to see how your past is impacting on your experiences, okay? So folks, this concludes Module 7, and I will see you lovely fine people in Module 8. Folks, have a splendid day, and I'll see you later. God bless. Bye-bye.